Hey everyone, welcome back. And this is finally a React Native tutorial. So why I'm doing this? Because I thought about exploring the area of React Native a little bit so that I can give more insights about Flutter as well and React Native. So if you are someone who is trying to understand whether you should choose Flutter or React Native, then these videos might be helpful for you. Or if you are just here to learn React Native, so I am learning as well. So I thought about sharing my inputs with you. So here we are going to learn a little bit of React Native. So we will install React Native first of all. Like we'll install few things which might be very important, and then we will move to let's say like how we can create components and how we can create more screens, how we can run on different phones and all those sort of things. But in this particular video I'm gonna just create a very simple login screen, as you can see over here, where you have a username where let's say you can write I am Pawan, and then you can write some password which can be something like this, and this is hidden, and you can click on sign in button and it will show you an alert. So we will just see how we can have this kind of interface, this kind of gradient and all those sort of things. What we are going to use is something called Expo for installing React Native and running it. Like it's another framework or tool, you can say, by which you can make actually the universal React applications. And then we can also see the docs of React Native sometimes, like when we have to find out something. So these are the two things which we are going to use. Also, if you see the React Native current version which I am using is 0.64. So that's like head start. And before I start, I just want to thank the sponsor of this video, AppCircle. This video is sponsored by AppCircle. Build your apps, distribute it to testers, and upload it to app stores, all automatically with quick and easy setup. 1 month free coupon code and the link in the description. And guys, please like, share and subscribe if you are interested in this video. So let's get started. So we'll start with Expo and we will see that how we can like install it. So first of all, you have to go to your terminal and you have to write this command npm install dash dash global, so that it will be globally available, and then Expo CLI. Expo CLI is basically the tool which we need. And then we can use Expo init my project and something like that. So let's go to our terminal. So this is my terminal. I'll quickly move to my development folder probably, and React Native, and here I can say Expo init, and for example the name of the app is going to be my app. So Expo init my app. It will ask me whether I want to use the managed workflow or a bare workflow. So for the like if you don't want to get into so much of mess up, or if you are not an advanced user, then you should go with managed workflow. So you can choose blank. You can also choose a TypeScript version of it, which also we can use, or like tabs as well. So I'm just going with the TypeScript version. You can just choose blank. There will not be any much difference between them, just a minor difference, but let's go with the TypeScript version for now. So it is using yarn to install the packages. You can also use npm if you wish, but by default, like if you have yarn, then it will use yarn. So it will take a moment to install all these things, but then I'll be back. So as you can see guys, our project is now ready. So everything is installed and all the dependencies are there. Now what we have to do, we can just you can see we can just go to my app, then start it. Like we can also start Android, iOS, web, as something like that. So first of all, what I'll do, I'll go to cd my app, for example, and now I'm here. I'll open it in my VS Code. So I'm just gonna use VS Code for this thing. So let's do this, and we are here. So I'm just going to zoom a little bit over here so that you can just see what we are getting here. So we got something called assets, where we have some icons over here, and we also got an app.tsx. So if you are using, if you have not used the TypeScript version, then you will just get app.jsx, I guess. And in package.json, we can see that we have some scripts over here for Android, iOS and web, and some dependencies like Expo status bar, React DOM, React Native web. So all these things are there, and some dev dependencies are there as well. By the way, I just want to give you some idea about the extensions which we are going to use. So you can just search React over here. So first thing you need is React Native Tools. This can be very useful. This is by Microsoft. And the second one, I guess, which we will be using is this one, Code Snippets by Equimper, which is React Native slash React slash React snippets for ES6 and all. And also install Prettier, which can be very useful for formatting of code. So code formatter is there, so this can be also very useful. So now if I go to app.tsx, here we can see what we get is basically a view over here, style dot container and all these things. Let's run it in fact, and let's see what we are gonna get with this. So I'm just gonna let me just zoom it a little bit, and then let's run it. So in the terminal, I'm just gonna say npm. If you want to use npm, so you can just say npm start or yarn start, and it will just say expo start, and it will open it inside your browser. So as you can see, it is saying localhost 19002, and here you get some options like you can run on Android device emulator, you can run on iOS, you can run in web browser, you can send this link with email, and you can also publish or republish basically on one of the Expo servers. And you can check the, like, you can switch on the production mode, and you can also like scan this QR to run it on your phone. For that you will need an app called Expo Go, which you can use. So the only good part initially when you use React Native is using Expo. Personally, what I liked is Expo basically, right? These features are really good and can be very useful in development. So this is definitely one of the things. So what I'm gonna do, I am gonna run on my iOS simulator. So I'll click here, and you can see it is attempting to run on my iPhone 12 Pro Max. So here we have the iPhone 12 Pro Max. So let's see what we get. So guys, as you can see, now it is running on my iOS simulator, and you can see the text pretty much here, open up app.tsx to start working on your application. And this is how it runs on your particular simulator. If I'll show you, this is an Expo Go application, and there are some things which you can use. So if you press Command D, or sometimes you have to press D and then Command D, then you see a menu over here where you can see my app, the localhost URL, the SDK version, Expo CLI, and then you have some buttons like reload. You can reload the entire app. You can copy the link to clipboard. You can go to home. You can disable fast refresh, debug the remote JS and all those things. You can also check the performance monitor. So let's say, for example, if you go to home, you will see all your applications over here. So right now I'm using my app. So this is what it is showing. And this also comes with fast refresh or hot reload. So if I change this text from here, and if I say hello React Native, for example, and if I press Command S, you can see we get this text hello React Native over here, which is a cool thing. Then I'll just try to give you a demonstration of what we get, and don't worry about not having Android and iOS folders and all those sort of things. This is basically when you are using Expo, then this is what you will get when you will use the managed workflow. But yes, we can definitely add more things to it, but right now it's not important. So basically, if you see, we have a Expo status bar which we are using over here. We are also importing React. We are importing style sheet, which we will use to do some styling to our components. We are also using a text component and a view component. So in the view, we are saying style, and we are passing styles.container, and we are using these functions basically. So functional components we are using. We are not using classes, which is like probably I guess this is a better approach now. And in styles, we are just saying styles.create. We have a container with, like, it's just a name. You can name it anything. Then flex is set to 1. Background color is this. Alignment, align items is centered. Justify content center. So it's like main axis alignment and cross axis alignment if you're coming from the Flutter background. So this is what we get initially. Now what I'm gonna do, I have to create a new folder here, which I will probably name as components. So components. So components is basically where I will keep all my components. So I'll just create a new file where I can just say login.tsx. So this is my login component. and I can just say RFCE, which means import, like it will just create a template kind of thing for me. So I have a login template over here, and here I can just say, for example, I can have a view. So I can just say view, which we will take from React Native, and we can add this view, and inside that basically I can have a text this time. So text, um, and this text will, so it is also importing a text, by the way, and this time I'm gonna just say hello world, right? And now let's go to app.tsx back, and here I can just change from hello React Native this text to just say login component basically. So now if I'll refresh, you can see hello world over here. So which means our this thing is working. One other thing is about React Native is that you have to, most of the time, for most of the things, add external packages, which is something which I really don't like as compared to what you get with Flutter. Like you don't have, at least for basic things, like even if you have to add some gradient. So if you saw the original design which I showed in the beginning, you can probably add gradient in Flutter without adding anything else apart from the framework. But here, even for doing that, you have to add some sort of library for that. So that's what I'm gonna do now. So if you'll go to documentation here, Expo, you will find, if we can search over here, we can search linear gradient, and here you will find that you can install it using Expo install Expo linear gradient, and then you get some like way of how you can, like, use this. So I'm gonna just copy this, and I'm gonna just go to terminal, and I will paste it here, and it will install basically the Expo linear gradient for me. And once it is done, then we can use it directly. So in the login page here, I can just say import Expo linear gradient, and from here we can use just the linear gradient. And once we have that, I will remove this text probably from this view, and I'll just say linear gradient, which we are getting, and we will get some colors over here. So colors, and we can add some colors here. So I have two colors with me which I have here, so I'll just copy it and I'll just paste them here. So let's remove this part, and now you don't see anything because of few reasons. So we will create a styling for this, and then for the whole flags we will give it that background. So how we will do that, just take a look here. So we can create a const, let's say styles, right? And here we can say style sheet, which we get again from React itself, and create. So we can just say here on import that we want to import style sheet as well. So this is what we get, and here we can have, let's say for background, I can just say BG, and for BG we can just set flex as 1, right? And here I can give this styling. So basically I can say that style is basically equal to, we can just say styles dot bg, right? So this is what we can do actually. This should go outside this, which is why it's showing me an error. So now even in that case it is not working, because now the problem with this is basically that like our view does not know about any of these. So here we can see that we have a flex as 1 and background color we have set. So we can remove this first of all, and this, because we don't need it any of these. So let's remove this as well, and similar container we can create here as well, in fact. And then we can just give this style as well. Let's say styles.container. And now finally you can see for this flags we have this linear gradient, which is working pretty much fine. And inside this linear gradient we can create our text and all those sort of things. So I'll just start with a text here. So first text I just want to do is I'll just say login, right? So login is a text which we are displaying, and right now you cannot see that. Why? Because it's right over here. If you can see it, it's right over on the top, like beyond safe area. So what I can do, in fact, I can change this view from view to safe area view, which is another good component which can, like, it is similar to what we have seen in, probably if you have seen Flutter, then there is a safe area widget, or maybe it just gave this sort of color over here, like white color. So let's not add it here, but let's wrap here a safe area view, right? And then inside that we can move our text. So our text is right now here. Now you can see it. It's not very visible because it's of black color, so we can do some styling for that as well. So here I am just gonna say my text. So text is the key for this, and I can just say color. So the color can be, for example, white, and I just want to give this styling to here, so I can just say style, and the style can be styles dot text. Right now you can see this login text over here, which is looking fine, better than before. And then what I can do is I can also do some more things here, like I can say font size, for example, and font size, let's say if I say 50, oh, it looks really big, which is fine. And I can also give font weight, and this time we can make it bold, right? Looks good. Yeah, this is looking fine. In fact, let's reduce it to 40, which is much better. And then also what I can do, I can give it some padding as well. So padding can be let's say 32. Padding should be fine. Yeah, this is looking much better. And now what we can do, this particular thing is looking good now. And now what we can do is we can add an image over here, which is an icon basically. So after text here, or after line number 10, I can add an image. So image also we will get from this particular like React Native itself. And in the image part we can add something called a source, and the source will basically take something called require, and this require takes an ID that where your image exists. So I can just say, so I have some images in the assets folder, if you can see. So I can use this adaptive icon basically, which comes by default. So I can say dot slash we have assets slash we have adaptive icon.png. So icon.png, something like this. And I can see the icon over here, but I cannot see it here. The reason can be that we have to give some width and height to this icon. So for that we can just say logo over here, and we can create a logo for that sort of thing. And let's give it a width of 100 and a height of 100 as well. And then the resize mode, I can give it like it's fit. Basically you can just say contain, cover, and all those sort of things. And here in the image we can give a style called let's say, what we can call it, styles dot logo. And in fact we can do it 200, which is fine, I guess. Yeah, this is looking fine. Also let's say align self as center, so that 1 second. Yeah, this is looking much better. Also if we can give some margin from the top to our text, or maybe to our entire safe area view, probably we can do that. But let's try with text. So we will just say to text that can you give some margin from top of, let's say, like 16 probably. And yeah, this is better. So this is what we got. We have an image over here which is not the greatest image available, but I mean this is working for us at least. Okay, now we have this. Now we need text inputs, one for email and one for password. So what we can say, we can say here text input. So text input we will get, and right now we might have some text input over here, but we cannot see it. How we will see it is basically if you tap here, maybe somewhere you get it, but right now it's not visible. So what you can do, you can have a placeholder over here. So placeholder, we can just say, let's say enter username, and now you can see it. See, this is very very like light right now, not very visible. What we can do, we can give a placeholder text color. So let's try with some grayish color probably. Now you can see it very well. And why it's not clickable, that's another question which we will come back anytime soon. So this is fine. Maybe let's do a hot restart. Why it's not clickable? That's something which is not working. So okay. So yeah, there are some bugs I have faced with React Native, that sometimes the pop-up doesn't come like that, that deep developer menu which is for refresh and all those sort of things. So that is also not working. Let's try copying this text, another like two text. Now we have another one, and it's clearly not working, guys. Like I cannot tap on it, so we might have to do a hot restart again, I guess. Which is again not working. So maybe I'll have to stop the server and connect it again. I don't know why it is happening. We can run on iOS simulator again. Okay. And again, let's. In fact, I cannot tap on anything, nothing at all. So what I'm gonna do, I'll just kill this application, I'll restart it, and then we will see if it is working or not. So there are some bugs which you may face when you are developing for React Native. Just wanted to give you a sort of heads up. And now you can see this is now working. So basically it was stuck for some reason, I don't know. I just restarted it and it's working now. So this enter username and password, we will create another style for this. So we can just say text input, right? Something like this. And one second, text input, let's change it to text input. Right, for text input we will we can say the color basically as white, again this time white. And we can also give the same kind of margin over here, 16, and padding as 16 as well. Let's see how it looks. So we will give this style. Style can be again styles dot text input. Oh, this is better. And the same thing we will give it to this. So looking good. Margin is probably creating more kind of gap between them, which I definitely don't want. Okay, this is better, I guess. Okay, let's try doing something. um let's remove the text first of all. So enter username are two things which we can see as of now. If I remove the padding, okay, this looks like this. So what I can do, I can just say margin top as 16, or not with top as well. I can just say margin horizontal, probably that will look better. Yeah, this is fine. And we can also give margin top as like 32, probably something like this. Oh, it creates the margin for both of them. That's the problem, I guess. So let's be happy with padding and all those sort of things. Then we can probably, for this image, actually we can give some margin bottom, right? So for the image itself, we can just say margin bottom as 32 maybe. Yeah, this is much better, right? So we have enter username and enter username. So I'll change it to enter password, and this username can stay like this, which is fine. Also, if we can give some border to this, like in the bottom, that will be great. So we can give here, let's say, bottom border, bottom border width. So we have something like this. So 1, if we give it, okay, and this is looking fine. But if we can give some color to this as well, so color we can give white. Okay, what's I'm not doing something right. Oh yeah, so this is looking good. Everything looks fine to me at least. One more thing is, okay, one more thing which I'm adding is margin top. I'm adding to this, not much, but 4 at least, so that I don't overlap. Maybe 8. Yeah, this is fine. So if I add some password, you can see that it is also displaying as a text, which I don't want. I want to secure it, so I can just say secure text entry, and I can just make it true, I guess. And yeah, this works pretty well. Now after text input, I need a button, which will be a sign in kind of button. So I can just say button, and the button will have two things. One will be a title, so I have to give it a title. So the title can be, for example, login, no, sign in is a better title. Login we have on the top already. Sign in, and then we have on press, like on press of it, what will happen. So on pressing it, we can show an alert. So we can just say you are logged in, something like this, right? So we have a button as well over here which is saying sign in. We can change the color of the button as well. So for now I'm just showing white as the color, but this is not gonna run for a long run. Why? I'll tell you. Also guys, maybe we might have to give a margin bottom as well, so that, yeah, this is better. So sign in, if I click over here, you can see you are logged in and all those sort of information. So this is our login page basically, which is kind of looking fine. We have explored linear gradient, we have explored safe area view, text input, image, text, button. Similarly, we can do a lot more than this. Also, let's try to run it on web, run in web browser, and let's see how it looks. So if I run it, it will take a moment, and finally you can see that how it looks here. So it has this kind of thing, and the button is looking like this. So what we can do, basically for button, we are saying color as white, and it is picking the background for web, and for Android also it will take this as white. So we can apply some logic over here. So we can say probably we will use something called platform. So we will import platform, not this one. Actually, we need this platform dot os. If it is equal to iOS, then we will say, let's say the color can be white. Otherwise, we can just maybe say null. Yeah, this is fine here. If I go here, oh, you can see this. This is also looking fine. So sign in, here you see a pop-up, you are logged in, and you have an image over here. This is not a great page. It's not very responsive as of now, but we can definitely do more changes to it later. So this is a basic React Native application, a login page. We can add navigator and all those sort of things later. But yeah, this is basically how we can start with React Native. This is not a very complex process initially. There are some things which I like, which I dislike, which definitely with the progress I'll keep sharing. So for now, I can see there are some bugs which you see in between your development. Expo is really good, but apart from that, you have to add so many packages like linear gradient, and for navigator also we will add a package and all those sort of things. So that's a little bit not good as compared to what Flutter provides. So I mean, yeah, otherwise it looks fine to me. It is like, we will see in future how it goes. So if you enjoyed this video, press the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're not the subscribe already, and let me know your views about React Native in the comments. And if you want more tutorials on it, then also comment. That's the best way to tell me that you need more of this. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.